Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's so good to see you again. Thanks for tuning in. Before we even get started, formalities, get them out of the way. Hit the subscribe button at the bottom of the screen, below the screen, outside of the screen, like outside of the frame, it says subscribe. And every person who would watch the video subscribe by now, we be at 500 subscribers, and the numbers ain't adding up. The math ain't mathing. So help me out. You keep coming back, you keep watching the shorts, and you keep watching the longer form content. Hit the subscribe button. Do me a favor. Don't leave me hanging. Okay? Please. Thank you. So the last time that we were here, we met fierce, creepy cousins, Benito Mussolini and Adolf Hitler. Is it Adolf or Adolf? In the South, I think we say Adolf. Anyways, today we're tackling how that same fear-based playbook made it across the Atlantic Ocean and landed on our shores here in America. No, not in a boat, because only African people involuntarily arrived in those. It arrived on our shores as a blueprint in a messenger bottle, if you will, from another time, another place. And we just took the blueprint and said, okay, but make it American. Make it great. Make it American great. Ooh, make America great again. And here we are, where socialism is apparently the scariest word in the English language, right behind, I can't even say it. Moist. I hate the word. Moist. Why did I do that? Anyways, if you've heard the word socialism tossed around by certain politicians lately, you'd think that it meant the apocalypse served with a side of Karl Marx and Russian vodka. But here's the thing. What we call socialism in America is like Diet Coke or Coke Zero. It's like socialism made with Splenda. Things like Medicare for all that the Republicans want you to think are horrible, it's not socialism. It's just not wanting to go bankrupt because you accidentally sprained your ankle tripping over your cat that your Haitian neighbor definitely didn't eat. Yes, we're a little clumsy, but that doesn't make us socialists. I mean, by this logic, things like public libraries must be socialist too, right? Free books? Dangerous. And don't even get me started on the fire department showing up to put a fire out without charging people. That's gotta be some next level socialism, right? You want water with that flame engulfing your entire life savings? Well, you better Venmo the fire chief, bucko. Now seriously, what is socialism? In simple terms, socialism is like when the government or community takes control of essential services or industry so that they can be shared more equally or equitably. It's not about controlling your life or turning us into some dystopian nightmare. It's more like making sure that everyone gets a slice of the pie. Healthcare, education, things that help people and the whole society run more smoothly. So yeah, it's like less dictators in control and more like we probably shouldn't let Elon Musk own and control everything, right? That's socialism. Now enter Donald Trump and J.D. Vance, stage right, the far right.
We're not supposed to have a socialist. Look, we're not going to be a socialist nation. We're not going to have a socialist president, especially a female socialist president. We're not going to have it. We're not going to put up with it. It's not going to happen. Who would believe this? 80 days from now, we are going to defeat a communist known as Kamala Harris. Most radical left person ever to run for office. This is not what this country needs. We've had enough of them. This is communist, this is Marxist, this is fascist. But you know what? It's dangerous because she's saying that she's going to give away things that she'll never be able to get approved. I think this is a different kind of a race. All we have to do is define our opponent as being a communist or a socialist or somebody that's going to destroy our country.
So surely these Trump supporters have a clear sense of what these words mean, right?
The fact that you call socialism, oh no, it's socialism. No, this is socialism. Excuse me, socialism is the PC word for communism. Get it, people? Get it.
All the Democrats just want socialism. That's not American.
Okay.
So they want free everything. That's not American.
You want Social Security?
In America.
Are you on Social Security?
I am, but I work a full-time business.
No, I know, but you're aware Social Security is a socialist program.
Well, that's beside the point. That was
just Democrats are ruining our country. They're just hell-bent on turning this country into a communist country. And they're going to try socialism first, then it'll go to communism, and we can't have that.
See that you're talking about evidenced in the last few years?
Trying to go to socialism? Well, let me think about that, because there's lots of things, but...
Wait a minute. Y'all don't even know what the word means? We should at least be on the same page about what we're talking about here, right? So quick breakdown. Communism and socialism, they sound like cousins. but they're closer than that. I say that they're more like that one friend that you didn't invite to brunch because you know that they take things way too far every time they come. Here's what I mean. Both communism and socialism want to level the playing field by redistributing wealth. But here's the difference. Socialism is like, let's have government step in to make sure that everyone gets a fair shot. Shared healthcare, shared education, stuff like that. It's like a team effort where the government helps out. That's your friend at the beginning of brunch before they've had way too many bottomless mimosas and ordered way more than they could ever eat or afford for that matter. Who's got the check? Communism, though, that's your friend at the end of the brunch who starts saying really crazy things after all of those mimosas with those floaters on top that make you concerned about their well-being. Let's just eliminate private property altogether. Why don't we? And let's let the government own everything. That's communism, the extreme version of socialism, the drunk version of socialism. So let's recap. Socialism is the let's share option, and communism is the share everything, own nothing option, whether you like it or not. And here's the thing. Republicans have been working for decades to weaponize the words socialism and communism because they know most people don't really understand what they mean. It's like political Mad Libs where they just fill in the blanks with scary government takeover, scary government takeover. They toss these terms around to freak people out, making them think that sharing resources is just one step away from you losing your house to the government or, I don't know, waking up with a North Korean dystopian society. They're banking on the fact that fear trumps facts. And if they yell socialism loud enough, you won't notice that the real threat to your paycheck is probably the billionaires on the stage trying to dodge paying taxes. But sure, let's blame it on healthcare. They act like concepts like Medicare for All or the Affordable Care Act are going to turn us into a communist nation. But really, it's just trying to help us stop starting GoFundMe campaigns to pay basic medical bills that shouldn't cost a literal arm and a leg to procure. I mean, at this point, Donald Trump is just your creepy, dirty uncle who tries to make his conspiracy theories at the cookout sound real deep by sprinkling a little bit of Malcolm X and Biggie in there, except, Malcolm and Biggie actually made sense. But back to the main point. Instead of saying, let's fix the economy that Trump screwed up with extreme tax cuts for billionaires, mind you, what Trump and Vance say instead is, you should be very, very afraid. Socialism is coming, and it's coming for you. Lock up your guns, hide your businesses, and for the love of God, get those kids out of public schools, defund the Department of Education. Don't assist anyone teaching factual histories about slavery, Jim Crow, women's suffrage movements. Close the Environmental Protection Agency that attempts to minimize the harms that corporations do to you when they dump toxic waste in Black, brown, and impoverished communities. Socialism, 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 communism, Comrade Kamala. Or they'll say, Comrade Kamala. This is a move straight out of the Mussolini-Hitler playbook. Lie. Invent a villain. Lie. Inflate the danger. Lie. Convince people that if they don't vote for you, they'll be forced into a communist society, or worse, they'll be taxed a little more. But the gag is Trump is calling Democrats socialists and communists on the grounds of their proposed tax codes and social net policies, when every economist with half a brain has said that it is in fact Donald Trump whose policies will result in additional taxes for middle and lower class Americans and great tax cuts for the richest people in our country. They want you to believe that socialism is coming for your lawn and your firstborn, like the drag queen reading at your local library. And just like those anti-drag protesters, they clearly haven't read a book in years. But no, really, what are they scared of? It's got to be change, right? They're scared of change. Because who else turns equal pay into a boogeyman? Someone who's been socialized to fear sharing anything, be it healthcare, a dance floor, or a water fountain. Who turns an increase in property values of the house that you own into a bad thing? Someone who didn't attend a basic economics class, who's been socialized to believe that whatever their dictator's propaganda network feeds them is true. And you wonder why Trump said he loves dumb people and wants to defund the Department of Education. Let's take a breath and look at the facts. Medicare for All isn't socialism. It's a health plan. The Green New Deal, that's not socialism. It's just trying to ensure that we don't have to live underwater or in a literal hell on earth because it's all burning. But here's the thing about fear. It doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't have to be logical. It doesn't have to even be factual. It just has to make you panic. And when people panic, they vote out of fear, not logic. Fear of socialism? totally overblown, but it's useful and it works. And that's why they keep doing it. But no matter the cast, no matter the scene, it's the same old story. Like the guy who tells you, pray more, worry less. But also reminds you that if you don't tithe 10%, God is definitely watching. Trump plays the same tune, using fear like a mega church pastor, reminding you every Sunday that hell is a real possibility. Only for him, hell is black people, brown people, or a black woman leading the country. Careful. If you vote for Kamala Harris, the entire country will be just like Detroit, just like Atlanta, just like Pittsburgh, just like cities where black people exist. They're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs, and they're eating some other things as well. There's a clip that emerged on the internet. I'll try to find it and plug it in. I believe it was Stephen Miller standing on the stage at a Trump rally with Latino and Latina people just on placards, like very large poster boards. And we're not talking like the white Cuban sort of Latino, Latina people. We're talking about like brown people.
And the patriots in this room are going to be the ones who elect President Trump to end the invasion, to end the occupation, and to send the illegals back home. Look at all these photos around me. Are these the kids you grew up with? Are these the neighbors you were raised with? Are these the neighbors that you want in your city? No. These are the criminal migrants that Kamala Harris brought into your community. And as swiftly as they came, Donald Trump will send them back.
They're stoking your fear. If you look behind the Iron Curtain, you'll realize that the wizard isn't real and that there's no reason to be fearful. There's no reason to be worried. There's no reason to be anxious. If all someone has to offer you is fear, then that's abuse. I didn't plan on saying this today, but it makes me think about a person who's in an abusive relationship where their abusive partner works so hard to shape their reality and to make them think that no one will believe you if you tell them that I'm doing this to you. I provide so much for you. Aren't you happy here with me? And they hit you and say, I won't do it again, I promise. You just make me so mad because I love you so much. That's literally what Trump and J.D. Vance are doing to the population, the country, and those who support them. They're fleecing them. They're fleecing you. Don't believe your own eyes. Don't believe your own ears. Believe what we say and fear everyone who isn't us. Fear the media. Fear the immigrant. Fear the black person. Fear the brown person. Fear those communists. Fear those socialists. Because if we can make you fear them, then we can make you fight them. And if we make you fight them, maybe we can make you kill them too. On one great violent day. This is the end of part 2 of our little 3-part journey on the F word. If you missed part 1, it'll be linked at the end of the video. Next time, we're going to wrap up this little trilogy with a big finish. How fascism gets a grip and what we have to watch out for today. Spoiler alert. It's not socialism. It's a lot scarier. Some might call it Trumpism. I'll see you next time. Unless you're like me and already packing your bags for like a last minute move to Canada. Because I'm ready. Child, I got to go. When I move, y'all better move. Don't look for me. Because I ain't going to be in no Handmaid's Tale. J.D. Vance remind me of them people in that TV show. Ain't gonna be me. As always, please like, comment, subscribe, and share to help us beat that old nasty algorithm. I'm Brandon Thomas, signing off for the night. Until next time, peace.